My name is Cindy, and my project was to work with the Sacramento Children's Mobile Museum. Here's the HRSA acknowledgement. So the Sacramento Children's Mobile Museum program for inclusion of students with special needs. The director, oh, by the way, I'm Cindy again, and I'm a family member Len trainee. I also am in my 10th year of homeschooling my son, which included a lot of classroom time. I'm a different museum docent and advisor to a self-advocate group. I also want to say I was honored to be asked to do this, and I felt that I was well prepared to do this particular project. So the Van Gogh Mobile Museum of the Sacramento Children's Museum is a school outreach program. Museum educators travel to various school sites. They facilitate hands-on themed science-related activities for pre-K through second grade. The project was to design a 1-hour special science program for Van Gogh. The museum director had requested a project such as this that would be a 1-hour program designed for students with special needs. So it would be good as a standalone, but they were really open to the idea of making an inclusive program that would be accommodating for students with special needs, but it would include all students, general ed and special education together. So that was my goal. So they were really easy to work with, and we collaborated really well. To prepare for this, I reviewed existing program lessons. I interviewed the coordinators. There were 2 at different times. I observed the Van Gogh program at 2 sites, and I toured the museum and talked with staff. So from that, the project scope became a program for the inclusion of students with special needs, but could be a standalone as well. For the target group is kindergarten through second grade students of average classroom size. They wanted a science topic that they didn't have already. And the structure of their program is a topic was introduced for about 10 minutes, and then 4 stations of about 10 minutes each, where the children would be grouped into equal group numbers and rotating throughout the stations. It should be easy for staff and parent volunteers to facilitate because they're at different school sites all the time. And because of that, also simple and quick to set up and tear down. So there were no specific diagnoses requested for, so I just tried to think broadly of accommodations that would work and make a low frustration level, low stress level, and of course be fun. That would work for everyone, regardless, general education students or special education students. So I kind of came up with a composite student. And from my observations, to start with, I had some suggestions, and they were very open to them. In fact, some of them they said they sometimes do, and so it just maybe wasn't consistent. So it would be maybe visuals of key terms, transitions. I had heard like a loud playground whistle for the transition time. I suggested maybe a warning would be good at 2 minutes out, and maybe something a little gentler, maybe lights on and off or a chime or something. So they were open to that, but that's also dependent on the classroom teacher. Oftentimes they leave that up to the classroom teacher, but given our first presentation this morning, it's possible that that could be an area of coaching. So also stations numbered 1 through 4 clearly would be helpful, and participation would not be reliant upon the fastest and most assertive students at the activity, but that it could, the goal would be to be equal so that everybody gets a chance regardless of assertiveness. So from that also, desired elements would be kinesthetic and proprioceptive. I'd like it to be multisensory, visual, spatial, diagrams to help with what's expected, especially with movement, and more visuals, varying degrees of difficulty since it's encompassing a broad range of students, and of course, engaging and fun. I just use this quote to guide me. It's by Pablo Picasso, to just look at these activities and in my lesson planning with a child with special needs. So if you haven't guessed by now, the theme I suggested was space. They like that idea, and it happens to dovetail nicely with the science standards for first grade. I should mention too that as I was working on this project, Van Gogh was contacted by a teacher of a self-contained classroom of students with special needs, and she happened to be working on space with them, and so we were going to have a wonderful opportunity to see this implemented um, and be able to report and evaluate. However, because of COVID, we lost that opportunity, but hopefully in the future, we will regain that. Having said that, though, I did work collaboratively with the Van Gogh coordinators, and even though a program may look great on paper, it still will probably need some tweaking as it's implemented. So to start my lesson, the program introduction would be I suggested starting with a question and answer for 2 to 3 minutes. Students could share what they know about space, and optional would be to show a video. However, that might be a little bit difficult because they're not sure of, they don't have a projector. A book is a nice idea, but not necessary either. And then move into a demonstration, which a lot of people might be familiar with the globe and flashlight, just to show Earth's rotation and how the sun shines on the Earth, and the relationship for day and night and seasons and patterns. The teacher that wanted the space program happened to be doing just that, seasons and day and night, so I thought this would be good. I was lucky to have sort of be able to tailor some of this towards what she would have wanted. And then the next demonstration and introduction would be on gravity, dropping objects that demonstrate the concept and related to planets around the sun, Earth's moon, and so on. Describe the stations to the students. The station 1 is called Sun and Planets, Where Are You in Space? The students could get a little proprioceptive marching in before they do this activity, which is moving around each other, with one student being the sun. The second one is Sun, Earth, and Seasons. The third one is Starry Night, and the fourth one is Black Hole. So station 1 is to show the diagram and even have the planets on the floor, as well as the children holding laminated pictures of their planet, and then another child being the sun, and then they could have fun moving around to show the movement of the planets around the sun. They could change positions, and no verbal communication is required for this, just a fun activity. The second station would be Sun, Earth, and Seasons. Show the diagram pictured here or something similar. They could use the globe again to show how the sun affects the seasons. And then the students have different bins to decorate their empty tree with to show the change of seasons: green leaves, red, orange leaves, snowflakes, buds, and flowers. Station 3A is Starry Night. Show this, it's by Van Gogh. I like to play on words as well. So they could have some scripted docent type questions. The students can describe what they see in the painting. They can explore colors, lines, mood, if it jogs a memory for them, just anything to elicit their impressions. And then station 3B would be for them to create their own starry night using light brights. So the little light bright pegs could be the stars, and the instruction would be to create stars, a Big Dipper, star pattern, Orion, something kind of simple. And there would be 3 levels of difficulty in this. They could trace the pattern right on the device and get to practice that pincher grasp, copying pattern next to them, or do a freestyle. Some of the students may have aids. I was informed, so if they did have trouble with the pincher grasp, they could have an aid help them. And then at the end, they gather them all. Oh, sorry, station 4 is the black hole. Talk about gravity again, helping to revisit a new concept. So fun, engaging activity using the museum's wind tunnel. The students can put spacey scarves into the black hole, kind of material like this. I saw them do this repeatedly. It's very engaging when they used it in different capacities, and we could decorate it like a black hole and have it sort of horizontal. And I know they would have a lot of fun with that activity. So that's the program, and then they gather them again at the end and give out museum tickets. Unfortunately, they don't know the future of this program yet because of COVID, but I'm looking forward to seeing this program being implemented if we get the chance. Thank you.